Yo, check it. New day, same vibe. We elevate and rise. StayWavyTV, where the culture comes alive. From the rooftop to your screen, we keep the vision clean. Drop so fresh, make the whole world lean. Hit that subscribe.
It's good, y'all. So this past weekend, we had a fight between Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Erickson Lubin. Vergil Ortiz did surprise me. He did stop Erickson Lubin in the first round. I did think he was probably going to win the fight, but I definitely gave Erickson Lubin a lot more respect than he deserved based off of his competitive fight in the past with Sebastian Fundora. Even though I think Lubin lost to Jesus Ramos, I still think it was a competitive fight. I don't think that he got dominated by Ramos. I just think he lost a close fight. You know what I'm saying? But so one of my favorite boxers, Jaron Boots Ennis, shows up to the fight, right? And he pump faked like he wasn't going to show up, right? Because he wanted to pretty much, surprise Vergil, right? Like he acted like, his flight got delayed because there's some things going on with flights right now. And he pretty much pump faked and act like he wasn't going to the fight. So Boots shows up, right? Gets in the ring. Vergil Ortiz's energy in the ring, I loved it, okay? After he was done saying what he was saying, he was like, Boots, come here. You know what I'm saying? Like on some gangster shit. Like, you feel me? Like, shout out to Vergil, man. So Boots walks up and Boots basically says, like, I want to squabble you. You know what I'm saying? I want to fight you next. Your team been talking a lot of shit. And then Vergil kind of G-checks Boots a little bit. And he says, hold on, bro. He says, hold on. Your team is the one that start talking shit first. I guess he said Boots' dad, who's also his trainer, was talking crazy. And, Vergil brought up the fact that Boots had an opportunity to fight him already. And he wanted a tune-up, right? So anyway, both guys seem to want this fight, or they seemed to have wanted this fight. But right after, they face off, because they had a very, nice face off after they was talking shit. Right after the face off, Vergil Ortiz goes backstage and does an interview, and they ask him, what does he want for his next fight? He didn't even mention Boots' name in this interview, y'all. He didn't even mention Boots' name. The first name that he said is he wants to fight Errol Spence in Texas. Errol the True Spence Jr., who has been out of the boxing ring for almost 3 years now. He's been out of the ring for over 2 years. He's getting close to 3 years, right? If he doesn't fight by next June, July, he will be out of the ring for 3 years straight, okay? Vergil Ortiz says that his dream fight is against Errol Spence. He wants that fight next, and he doesn't care what anybody has to say about that, okay? Ironically, Errol the True Spence Jr. was at the fight. He was at the fight. And when they asked him about the fight, because Errol Spence got interviewed as well, Errol Spence is still a star in the sport of boxing. I keep telling you guys, bro, even though Errol Spence took a brutal beating to Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence will still sell more pay-per-views and in-ring tickets than Terrence Crawford right now. You put Errol Spence in a fight with Vergil Ortiz in Texas, I guarantee you it sells more tickets in the arena or stadium, wherever the fight is at, and I guarantee you that it does more pay-per-views than any of Terrence Buck Crawford's fights besides Canelo Alvarez, because we already know that fight is going to do well because he fought Canelo, right? Shout out to Terrence Crawford for moving up two weight classes, really 3 weight classes, and beating Canelo Alvarez. Shout out to Terrence Buck Crawford, but I'm not disrespecting him as a boxer, but I'm saying if we're talking about boxers with popularity, boxers that sell tickets, boxers that sell pay-per-views, Errol Spence is that guy, okay? People forget he sold out the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. People forget about that. But let's stay focused, right? So, ironically, Errol Spence is at the fight. Errol Spence does interviews, and they asked him about the fight. And he was disgusted with Erickson Lubin's performance, right? And I was thinking to myself, did Errol Spence show up to the fight because behind the scenes, him and Vergil Ortiz already agreed to fight each other and Vergil beat Erickson Lubin? Because not too long ago, right? Just, I want to say close to a year ago. Well, I'll say a couple months ago. Remember, with Sebastian Fundora this year, when he fought Tim Tszyu the first time, Errol Spence was at the fight. After Fundora beat Tim Tszyu, Errol Spence walked into the ring and called out Sebastian Fundora for a fight. Now, that fight ended up not happening because I guess Errol Spence doesn't have a trainer. The weight class of 154 basically said that if Spence fought Fundora, that he would not get the title because he's been inactive and he hasn't fought at 154 before. So long story short, the fight ends up not happening, right? Now, I think this Errol Spence and Vergil Ortiz fight, I truthfully believe this is going to be the next fight for Errol Spence, because Errol Spence has been training, right? Errol Spence, he looks healthy, okay? And I just don't see Errol Spence retiring after that ass whooping that he got from Terrence Bud. I just can't see it, bro. Okay? I know most people would say that Errol Spence needs a tune-up. What you guys got to understand, bro, Errol Spence doesn't take tune-ups, okay? Like, tune-ups is not in Errol Spence's DNA, okay? Errol Spence has no problem getting in the ring with somebody that is at an elite level in his weight class. That's just who he is. The man almost died. The man flew out of his Ferrari, smashed on the concrete face first, lost teeth, almost died, and months later fought Danny Garcia. Like, what are we talking about? And then right after that, fought Ugas, okay? What are we talking about, okay? Errol Spence is not going to take a tune-up, okay? But I'm very disappointed in Vergil Ortiz Jr., right? Because the fact that Vergil keeps bragging about his team sending Jaron Boots Ennis an offer and Boots turning it down because he wanted to get a tune-up to see how he would look in the weight class. Because I'm going to be honest, right? I don't get why people have a problem with Jaron Boots Ennis having one tune-up at 154. Vergil Ortiz's first two fights at 154 were tune-ups, right? Obviously, Vergil Ortiz has some health problems, but at the end of the day, bro, like, if it ain't the pot calling the kettle black, you guys are clowning a guy for taking one tune-up when Vergil Ortiz took 2 or 3 tune-ups at 154 when he first got into the weight class. You understand what I'm saying? And what you guys got to understand is Jaron Boots Ennis is a big guy, okay? When he's not fighting, he literally blows up in weight. Go look at the pictures of Jaron Boots Ennis and Canelo Alvarez sparring. Boots looked noticeably bigger and stronger than Canelo Alvarez, which means that I don't think Boots is going to be at 154 for more than 2 years, right? And I think that's the reason why he wanted a tune-up, because if he felt weight drained and if he didn't feel that strong in the ring, I think Boots, after that first fight at 154, I think he was just going to end up just going to 160. Because him blowing up in weight when he's not fighting and him draining himself and having to lose so much weight to make 154, at some point, that's going to affect their performance in the ring, right? So Boots ain't going to be at 154 that much longer, bruh. He's coming in the weight class to clean up the division and he's moving up to 160. That's obvious, okay? So now that these guys have faced off in person, now that these guys have felt each other's energy in person, the fact that the first boxer that Vergil is talking about for his next opponent is Errol Spence, that makes me think that you're scared of Jaron Boots Ennis, bruh. The man pulled up to your fight, took a flight, came to your fight, walked into the ring, looked at you face to face, said he wanted to fight you, had a face-off, and you're talking about a guy who hasn't boxed in almost 3 years, okay? I'm a huge Errol Spence fan. Most boxing fans in 2025, let's be honest, they think Errol Spence is washed. Let's just call it what it is. They think he's washed up. They think he has nothing left in the tank. Let's just keep it real. And Vergil saying his name is nasty, bro. That lets me know that you really don't want to fight Boots next. And I don't think that fight is going to happen next. I truthfully think that Vergil Ortiz and his team are going to offer Errol Spence a fight. And I think Errol Spence is going to take it. Because I think Errol Spence believes he could beat Vergil Ortiz. And listen, I think it's a 50-50 fight. Even though Errol Spence has been out of the ring for almost 3 years, even though he took a brutal beating against Terrence Crawford, listen, man, Vergil Ortiz isn't Terrence Crawford, okay? Errol Spence is a hell of a boxer. Errol Spence moving up to a new weight class at 154. Listen, Errol Spence, he should have left 147 a long time ago. I think he stayed at 147 way too long. And Terrence Crawford was saying that, bro. Like, You know, Errol Spence had no business staying at 147 that long, okay? Everybody knows that Errol Spence was weight bullying at 147. Everybody knows this, bro. Everybody knows when Errol Spence wasn't fighting, right? Like when he was like having his off time, Errol Spence would like damn near blow up to 200 pounds outside the ring, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Errol Spence said out of his mouth, he would have to wear sweat bags and all type of shit just to make the weight. He was killing himself to make 147. So now that he's gonna move up to 154 and fight a guy like Vergil Ortiz, who is smaller than Errol Spence, he's shorter than Errol Spence. But Vergil does have power, though. We can't take that away from him, right? Like, power is definitely not going to be a disadvantage for Vergil. Like, you know what I'm saying? He is a knockout artist. But I think it's a 50-50 fight. I do. Listen, I'm not mad at anybody that would say it's a 60-40 fight in the favor of Vergil due to the inactivity. I can't disagree with you on that. But just me looking at boxing and just me seeing the style of both fighters and, you know, just me, because I've seen Errol Spence get in there with a Mikey Garcia and make Mikey Garcia look average. I've seen it. So I think Vergil's style is actually perfect for a guy like Errol the True Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the fight that's going to be next. And it's safe to say that as of right now, Vergil is ducking Jaron Boots Ennis. And I'm disappointed. I'm disgusting. I'm disgusted. I said I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. And this is the problem with boxing, bro. This is why so many people don't watch boxing anymore, bro. Because when it's time to make the fights happen, bro, there's always something that happens to delay the fight. Okay? Vergil, he's young. Boots, he's young. I think right now is the perfect time to make the fight happen, bro. And listen, Vergil should feel very confident that he would beat Boots because he's already adjusted to the weight class. He's already fought in some of the top guys in the weight class. He fought a Serhiy Boachuk, even though he got dropped twice by him. I think he lost that fight. He fought a Israel Majimov, who I think beat Terrence Crawford, had a very close fight with Terrence Crawford, but not according to the judges. You know what I'm saying? But Vergil said, I don't think there should be any type of insecurity or fear for Vergil fighting the Boots. I don't. He really should be looking at Boots like a tune-up, if we're being honest. That's how he should be looking at it. So I hope the fight with Boots and Vergil happens next, y'all. But I'm telling y'all, the way that Vergil is talking, the way that his team is acting, Vergil versus Errol Spence is probably going to be next, okay? So with that being said, it's your boy Wavy, StayWavyTV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, and let me know what you guys think about this topic. Do you guys think that Vergil is ducking Boots? If Vergil fights Errol Spence next, are you satisfied with that fight? And do you think he's ducking Boots? Because listen, obviously, Errol Spence is a bigger name than Boots, right? If Vergil fights Errol Spence, he's gonna make more money fighting Spence than he would fighting Boots, okay? And Errol Spence is still a great name, better name than Boots on Vergil's resume than Boots, right? So let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. It's your boy Wavy, StayWavyTV. Make sure y'all subscribe, click that bell for notifications, become a member of the channel, share the video. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.
Yeah, welcome to the vibe. Stay wavy in the mix, got the culture on the rise. Tap in, hit subscribe, ring that bell, let it ride. We gon' surf through the trends, give you game every time. Reviews, new views, keep it honest, never fake. If you're looking for the wave, this the channel you embrace. Stay